But Stan, you say, write a book. Just kind of write a book. Yeah, I know you'll help me, and you can help me get it done, but who's going to read my book? No one's going to read my book. No one. And this podcast idea, you keep saying I should be on the radio, on the real radio, on the internet radio. Well, who's going to listen to my radio show? Who's going to hear me? No one. Video channel. Yeah, well, who's going to watch my video channel? No one. Well, that's what I hear, and that, of course, is a great fear. And perhaps you think it is a reality, but it's not true. And today I'm going to tell you one of the great secrets of communication and personal success, one that Jesus knew profoundly well, and most people in the world today forget it. So today, let's begin with just you and an audience of one. Welcome back. This is Stan Houston, and the program is the Jesus Entrepreneur Experience. We come your way from the Christian Entrepreneur Network, and we're looking for you perhaps to join us and to help sponsor this program. It's beginning to go and grow. It's not there yet. In fact, it probably suffers from the same thing that you fear. Will anybody listen? Will anybody watch? Is there anybody out there that cares or pays attention to what you do? Well, I can tell you after more than 40-some years in broadcasting, that's something you never quite ever get over. Is anybody there? Is anybody care? Is anybody at all going to listen to what I say or what I do? And I'd like to just visit very briefly about that today. This is Wednesday, and what we are discovering that perhaps our best way of helping you would be to go Sunday night, the Sunday night meeting flowing into Monday, then perhaps see where the special events might or might not come. Then here we are on a Wednesday evening as the week is just about half done, and you're planning and thinking about some things that will finish up the week. And then maybe something that will inspire you and encourage you as you flow into the weekend. Something for reflection, rest, some thoughts about your life and business, and certainly about how the Spirit of the living God, how the person of Jesus Christ just might fit in to what you and your life are all about. So that puts about 3 programs. That's a little bit above average. Maybe we'll go 4. Maybe 5, but we're trying to find our way. Now, please keep in mind that everything in life is experimental. And we actually have a program on that. It is an experiment. And the nice thing is that essentially, if it's done right, experiments never fail. You may not get the results you want, but you learn something. There was something that happened that can help you next time. And so this, of course, is not only the Jesus Entrepreneur Experience, it is also the Jesus Entrepreneur Experience Experiment. Let's see what happens. Now, of course, that whole idea, as I told you, that going forward, there's a very good chance that you should think about writing a book. And the whole point is that it doesn't have to be a 300-page book. Who knows? It might be a 30-page book. It might be a 30-page audio book. There are all kinds of things that qualify as a book today, and it will have this primary result. It will make you smarter. It will make you more interesting. In many ways, it will help you to better understand life and what is going on. And more than that, you may actually find that God is listening to you, and you yourself are going to learn something about yourself. And that's why we're going to talk about the audience of one. It's of truth. And that's a long, pregnant pause, something that Paul Harvey used so often in his classic radio work. Just pause long enough for people to say, "Are you still there?" and bring back their attention. But oftentimes we get caught up in the numbers game. How many subscribers do we have? How many people will listen to our radio program? How many people will see our video? How many people give us likes on Facebook? How many? How many? How many? How much? How much? And those are the metrics that oftentimes dominate our lives. But I would just simply like to encourage you as an entrepreneur to begin with a very fundamental secret. And it's a secret that Jesus knew. And that is, you begin with one. And guess who the one is? It's you. You will always have one person listening to your program. There will be one person who will read your book. There will be one person who will watch your video. And that, of course, is you. And you are rather important. Because in writing your book, you're writing it for you. In doing your radio program, in many ways, you are doing it for another, but you're also doing it for you. And in that video you produce to demonstrate your wisdom and insight to your clients and customers, you're also doing it for you. Isn't it interesting that it tells us in the Bible that around the age of 12, Jesus was on his mission to become his mission. He was there alone as a young boy in the temple, learning and speaking, and even amazing some other people. But obviously it seems like it's about 18 years before he felt that he was ready to be what he was to be. That should tell us and teach us something. Most of his ministry was spent on himself, getting ready to be what he was supposed to be about. And so you always start with one, and that is you. Now, here is where it gets a little bit interesting, challenging, and this is where you have to embrace the paradox. Every smart broadcaster will begin by saying, okay, who are the people you want to talk to? And that's a great question. Who's your audience? I will make it even more important and pointed. Who is the one person you are trying to talk to? Talk to that one person, and if you do it well, there's a very good chance that many more will listen. So who is the one person? And that's very good, but the problem is you may then frame it totally for that person and you'll forget about you. You see, what it's really about is you, one person, talking to one more person, and that's what makes for a great radio program. As I oftentimes say, you have a friend. Write them a letter and make it audio. That's how you do a great radio program. And as we pointed out in that wonderful irony based on a neat little story that came out called, Hey, Create for an Audience of One. And I really appreciated the work that was done in Medium magazine by Sir Ravinas Rao. And he pointed out that many of the great creators, and he actually pointed out the rock star David Bowie, in effect, he always said that the work he was doing was to keep him alive, keep him fresh, keep him innovating. And he knew that if he was fully himself and fully alive and fully true to himself, that would be what he should do, and that would have the best chance of connecting and succeeding with others. So instead of trying to please everyone, or maybe trying to please at least one, he might be better off to please himself first. He needs to be himself, say what is important, what is authentic, what is real, and you are a friend. So it begins with one, him, and it's shared with one more. Let me tell you, if you write a book, you are the one. And if one person buys it, they are the one. And if something happens that is important, helpful, relational, good, it's a success. Hey, it may not make any money. It probably won't. Most books don't make money, but they make all kinds of other good things. As I said, if you write a book, you'll be less boring, you'll be more interesting, you'll have greater ideas, greater energy, greater perseverance. All kinds of good and wonderful things can happen to you when you begin with one. It's just you, and it's the one person who will or maybe buy and read your book. 10 minutes in the program. We just have a few minutes to go. But please let that sit on your head, and then let me finish it up.
He careth for you. He careth for you. When the worries and cares of your life seem to block out the rays of His light, never forget, never lose sight, for He careth for you, for He careth for you.
Again, I'm Stan Houston. I'm here because I want to audition. That's exactly what this is about. And by the way, I believe that if there's just one person listening to this program, I believe that there's a reason for that. There's a reason I got on the studio air today, and you happen to find your way here, and there is something perhaps relational, spiritual, or what else that is supposed to happen. And whether there is one or 1 million, and I've had both in my broadcast career, what is important is what happens between me and you that is entertaining, engaging, informing. Something changed, something happened, and maybe it was important, maybe it was even transforming. Jesus taught me this lesson. You start by talking to one person. You don't text them. You don't email them. You start by talking. Today I got an email from a lady who was very interested in some of the things she found that I did, and we exchanged just a few notes. I suggested she give me a call, and she texted back and says, "Oh, I can't talk now. Hey, just email me with some of your ideas and things." I wrote back, "No." I said we need to talk first. I don't know what she really wants, what she really needs, what her hopes and dreams and visions for this event that she is all about. And so I'm not going to waste her time and my time by me trying to guess what she wants and then writing it all out, attaching all the stuff, and finding that it was neither a good use of time, it was not what she wanted, and it's not particularly what I wanted it to be. Let's talk first. That's the rule of success as an entrepreneur. Talk and listen first. Don't try and sell. Talk and listen first. Exchange stories. Find how you can help. Find out where the points of pain and problem and pathologies and possibilities are. Find out what's going on in their life and in their business. talk. And then we can do whatever is next. So I would encourage you, don't worry about that. Think about the book, the performance, the video, the program that could help you, first of all, become a better you, be a better communicator to another, and because of that, you'll be better at life and business and branding. That's right. Talk first. Start with one and go from there. Will it take time? Of course it will. Will it be difficult? Everything worthwhile is difficult. Will it be challenging? Yes. Will it sometimes be painful? For sure. Everything worthwhile is. But just think about that. Don't worry. We're not talking about reaching the millions. It's you, and you're very important. And it's them. It's one and one. And there's one more. That's right. Jesus will be listening in. He'll be reading your book. He will be using it to better understand how he can help you, love you, and be with you if you're willing to invite him to do just that. So you see, I know today that one person is listening. They told me they would. I'm listening. That's another person. So we got two. And Jesus is there. We have an audience of one. We got three. And you know, we'll start right there. I'm Stan Houston. This has been Wednesday evening. I still encourage you to write that book, create that YouTube video, do a podcast, do something which demonstrates your wisdom and insight and some of the things that you can do, how you can help others, and perhaps what God has done in your life that can be of value to others. Start with one, and that's the key to entrepreneurial success. I said, everything I do is an audition. And that's what this is all about. I'm applying to help you. I have a long career as a business performance coach, as a broadcaster, as a teacher, and I've helped thousands of people. I'm fortunate in my life as a teacher, as a broadcaster, and as a business performance coach, and I'm pretty sure that in some ways I could help you and your business. So why don't you give me a call or connect with me, and we'll talk. We'll talk first, one-to-one. 520-664-7002, and leave a message, and I'll get back to you. 520-664-7002, USA, and I'll get back to you. StanHouston@gmail.com, StanHouston@gmail.com. Tell me how I can help you. Any comments, critiques, criticism, cautions? Love to hear from you. And then we'll exchange an email. And if it's important, then we'll talk. We won't text. We won't type. We won't email. We'll actually talk. Best and blessings to you. And I look forward to talking with you again sometime soon. Bye for now.